Day 21 of the energy war has triggered blackouts across multiple continents and the first waves of global oil shortages that are hitting households everywhere. The attacks on major Gulf energy sites have cut supply at the source, and the world is feeling it immediately. Oil prices have surged past $114 per barrel in the latest trading session. Analysts warn that continued disruptions could push Brent crude toward $150 or higher within days. But here's what makes this different from past spikes. The shortages are spreading faster than markets expected. The Strait of Hormuz is effectively non-operational. Mines, fast boats, and ongoing threats have reduced tanker traffic to near zero. 20% of the world's daily oil flows and a huge share of LNG exports are now blocked. This single choke point is reshaping global energy in real time. Gas prices at pumps are climbing 30 to 40% in markets across Europe, Asia, and the United States. Drivers in Germany, Japan, and California are already paying more at the pump, and the increases are accelerating. The ripple is hitting every country that relies on Gulf oil. Shipping routes are being rerouted around Africa, adding 10 to 14 extra days to every voyage. Container ships and tankers are burning more fuel on longer journeys, driving up costs for everything from electronics to clothing. Supply chains that once moved smoothly are now slowing dramatically. Fertilizer shipments are stalled at the source. The world's biggest producers in the Gulf are offline, threatening food production in Asia and Europe. Farmers from India to France are facing higher input costs, and the first warnings of crop yield drops are already appearing. Food prices are set to follow. Europe is entering another energy crisis. Natural gas storage levels are dropping faster than planned, and governments are preparing contingency plans for rationing. Households in Germany and Italy are being told to prepare for higher heating bills this winter. Asia's import-dependent economies are scrambling. China and Japan are seeking alternative suppliers, but there simply isn't enough spare capacity to replace Gulf volumes. Power plants in several countries are already cutting output, and blackouts are being reported in parts of Southeast Asia. The United States is not immune. Domestic gas prices are rising weekly, and the strategic petroleum reserve releases are being discussed again. American consumers are seeing the Gulf War reflected in their weekly grocery and fuel bills. Recession fears are growing worldwide. Economists warn that prolonged oil shortages could tip fragile economies into contraction. Stock markets are volatile, airlines are canceling routes, and manufacturers are warning of production cuts. But here's the part that's worrying experts most. The cycle shows no sign of stopping. Each new strike on energy infrastructure reduces capacity that cannot be replaced quickly. Insurance premiums for tankers have skyrocketed, making many shipments uneconomical. Global markets are pricing in months of disruption. Shipping costs are at record highs, and supply chains for fertilizer, medicine, and consumer goods are under severe pressure. The world is learning how connected our energy system really is. The coming weeks will decide how deep this crisis goes. Watch for sudden jumps above $120 per barrel, further reductions in tanker traffic, or new confirmed strikes on additional Gulf facilities. Those are the signals that the shortages are becoming permanent. This energy war is no longer abstract. Blackouts in one region and empty fuel stations in another are now directly linked. The global oil crisis is here, and it is affecting every economy on the planet right now. The question everyone is asking is how long this can continue before the damage becomes irreversible for global growth. What's really happening is that the world's most critical energy routes have become battlegrounds. Every tanker that cannot load in the Gulf creates shortages thousands of miles away. Europe is bracing for winter shortages, Asia is rationing diesel, and American families are paying more for groceries because fertilizer costs are rising fast. The ripple effects are already visible in everyday life. Higher fuel prices mean higher transportation costs for food, medicine, and consumer goods. Airlines are cutting flights, shipping companies are raising rates, and factories in import-dependent nations are slowing production. This is the global oil crisis unfolding in real time. And the most concerning part is the speed. What started as a regional conflict has now created worldwide supply gaps that cannot be filled overnight. The coming days will show whether the shortages stabilize or whether we see even bigger price jumps and deeper blackouts spreading further. The entire planet is now paying the price for this energy war.